guys, it's Jessie and welcome back to my channel, or welcome actually to my new channel, because this is the first video that I'm officially posting on this channel, which is very exciting. So if you are new here, obviously most of you technically are, but if you're not from one of my old channels, basically this is going to be my dedicated book channel. So I have a makeup channel and a main channel already, but I've really got into reading this year and I've started doing some book related videos on my kind of main channel, but I wanted to just kind of have a dedicated space to talk about books and stuff like that, so I thought I would make this channel. So welcome to Jessie Reads. So to kick off our videos on this channel, I'm going to be doing a March reading wrap up. I mean, I've literally been in a reading slump for whole of March. I've only read about 7 books, which is a bit less than usual for me, but I think hopefully with this channel I want to start a couple of like reading challenges, reading vlogs, stuff like that. Hopefully it will get me back into reading kind of as much as I was before. But we do have a decent kind of variety of books to share with you guys today. I was away for 2 weeks in March as well, so I was busy kind of traveling around Thailand, so didn't get to read too much, but I will go through all of the books that I read this month. I've got 4 like physical books to share with you guys, and then also a couple on my kind of Kindle app on my phone that I read books from, obviously. So without further ado, I am just going to get straight into it. I'm also going to be giving an April TBR in this video as well. So yeah, welcome to my March reading wrap up and April TBR. Sorry if the camera is looking a bit weird. I accidentally messed up the quality when I was away in some of the settings, so sorry if that is an issue. I'm trying to fix it. But the first book that I read this month was part of a kind of reading challenge that I was filming for my main channel, then wasn't going to do on there, and now I'm going to do post it on here, so you will see that soon. But the first book that I read was I Love You, I Hate You. This is just one that I picked up in the works. It was in there kind of 3 for £5, so I hadn't actually heard about it before, but it's basically kind of an enemies to lovers type of thing. They're kind of rival lawyers and they're kind of unknowingly talking to each other online under like pseudonyms and stuff, and they're actually really good friends. So it's actually really I actually really like the book. I gave it 3 stars, I believe. It wasn't like incredible, but it was fine. It was a decent book. I did enjoy it. Very short as well, and I got through this quite quickly. But yeah, I finished this one on the 1st of March and I gave it 3 stars. Then the next book I read was The Silent Patient. I finished this one on the 2nd of March. This was also part of a reading challenge. This is pretty hyped up on BookTok. Basically a woman shoots her husband and then never speaks again, and the protagonist is kind of a therapist trying to figure out why that is. I gave this one 2 stars. I wasn't a fan of it. I thought the plot twist was interesting, like the reveal I thought was interesting. I was like interested in the story. I did definitely want to find out what happened next. I did find it a bit gripping, but my main issue was there seemed to be a lot of plot points that literally went nowhere. Like he seemed to be interacting with characters that then didn't come up again, had actually nothing to do with the story, and it seemed like he was kind of, the author was kind of just trying to throw loads of things out there to keep you like not knowing what's going on, but none of it was even relevant. Like it just seemed like a big chunk of the plot was just him going like following up these leads that went absolutely nowhere. And I understand that that's probably, you know, what would happen if you were investigating somewhere. Not everything leads to somewhere, but it just seemed a bit like, again, like we're following up on this thing that's not even relevant, and it got a bit boring for me. And also the writing, like I don't know whether you're meant to like the protagonist or not, but I found him just to be really pretentious and like I don't know how to articulate it. He just seemed a bit dull and a bit like he thought he was a big hero. Like I don't know, it just, I wasn't really vibing with it. And I did figure out the plot twist, I'd say like a quarter of the way before the end, so before it was announced, but kind of as it got a bit more obvious. So I guess that's not like a big flex or anything, but yeah, it was okay. I didn't hate it. I gave it 2 stars, so like I finished it, but yeah, I don't think it's worth the hype, unfortunately. Then the next book that I read was actually an audiobook, and this was the first audiobook that I listened to, and I realised I don't like audiobooks. I just don't really like it. I don't know, it feels a bit awkward. But I read Hopeless by Colleen Hoover, which was one of her first books, and I gave this one 2 stars as well. I didn't like it. I felt the plot twist in this one, because all of Colleen Hoover's books have a plot twist. This one was a little bit predictable. I kind of predicted it from about, I think maybe before halfway in the book. But yeah, I just wasn't really a fan of it. I can't remember it too well. Dean, I don't think I actually liked. He's like the love interest. I'm pretty sure the main reason I didn't like this book is because I didn't like him. I found him quite cringy. I didn't like it. I really can't remember too much of this, which kind of says a lot. But yeah, I don't really think I liked any of the characters that much. So yeah, that was the thing. And also, if you've seen my book videos on my other channel, you all know that I kind of slated Ugly Love. I have come to a realization. I don't hate Ugly Love. I just hate Miles Archer, the main love interest. So I just want to throw it out there. I absolutely slated that before. Would not slate as much. I will slate him though. And same goes, I mean, Dean's not as bad as Miles, nowhere near as bad. Like, he's not a bad guy. I just found him just a bit insufferable. And it was extremely insta-lovey, like extremely so. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't atrocious. I think I would have preferred it more if I read it as a physical book. I probably would have given it maybe 3 stars, but yeah, over audio I just didn't really like it. I don't think I like that format of books, so I will not be reading any more audiobooks or listening to any more audiobooks. Then after that I read The Hating Game. Oh sorry, I forgot to say when I finished it. I finished Hopeless on the 4th of March, and then I read The Hating Game, finished this also on the 4th of March. I was kind of reading Hopeless in between that because I could listen to it when I was doing other stuff. But The Hating Game, I actually enjoyed this, and I watched the movie recently. I gave this one 4 stars and I quite liked it. I love enemies to lovers. I do think they did play up the OMG she's so short and he's so tall kind of thing. I was like it's a bit cringy, but I liked it. I also never normally like the like one of them's ill and the other's caring for them trope, but in here I really actually enjoyed that. I really liked it. I thought it was really cute. So I really enjoyed this book, gave it 4 stars. It wasn't a 5-star for me, but it was good. I enjoyed it. And I watched the movie. Movie wasn't very good, but I also feel like those type of movies never are that great. It's kind of like an Amazon Prime movie, do you know what I mean? It's like After, isn't it? I mean, it's not as bad as After, but yeah, just wasn't a huge fan of the movie. I feel like they changed it a little bit too much for my liking. I feel like some of the scenes could have been a bit more developed, I guess. But yeah, I enjoyed the book. I gave this one 4 stars. Then I read Good Girl Bad Blood, and I finished this on the 6th of March. This is the second book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I loved the first book, gave it 4.75. I thought this one was even better. I gave this one 5 stars. Yeah, preferred it to the first, and the first was still amazing. I devoured this book. I'm pretty sure I read it in one sitting, and it's not even like a super thin one anyway. I loved the story in here. I thought it was so well done. I wasn't even like expecting it until the end. I was properly gripped. It was really good, and I never normally like sequels that much, and like third books in a series, I never think they're really that good compared to the first, but this one was even better. Absolutely loved this. And I've just started the 3rd one, which I'm kind of sad that the series will be ending, but there is a prequel type thing, I think. But yeah, I will be devouring the next book and absolutely love this one. 5 stars. This is my favourite read of the month, definitely. Then I read 2 books on my Kindle app on my phone. So the first one was The Brutal Prince, which is the first in the Brutal Birthright series. God, I can't say my B's very well. And that is by Sophie Lark. Finished this one on the 10th of March. I read it on a plane to Thailand. This was good. It was just kind of a classic mafia romance. I love a mafia romance. I'm definitely going to be reading the other books in the series, but it's just not my like #1 like series on my list to read at the moment. Gave this one 3 stars. I thought it was good. Like, nothing really like to complain about. I really loved Ada, and she was like the heroine. And yeah, it was a decent book. It was just kind of like, I mean, I feel rude saying this, 'cause obviously like these are like people's works, but it was just like, you know, forgettable. Like, not in a bad way, but just like it blended in with all the other ones. 3 stars, fine, enjoyed it, but like I would recommend it if you're looking for that type of book, but I wouldn't say you have to read this. Then the last book I read this month, which I finished on the 30th of March, so we had literally a 20-day break from reading, which is bad, but I read Collided, which is the second book in the Dirty Air series, and this was about Liam and Sophie, whereas the first one was about Maya and Noah. I gave the first one 2 stars just because the writing style annoyed me a bit, and I literally couldn't get past that, but I liked the plot, and I liked the idea, so I continued reading the books, and the writing definitely got a bit better. I did prefer the writing in this book, so gave this one 3 stars. Same with Brutal Prince. It's not one that I'm like, wow, love that, / would highly recommend it, you have to read it, but it was good. I didn't mind it, and I got on well with it. It was fine. So 3 stars. I did like this one more than the last one, and I really liked Sophie in it. I actually really liked her too. So those were the books that I read this month, and now moving on to my TBR for April. What? I'm getting so confused. Okay, I know it's kind of already, this will be the 11th when this is going up, I believe, but I haven't finished any books this month, / I've started some. So the books I've started, I'm actually half using them as a tripod right now, so bear with. You guys are going to be slightly lower down while I talk about this section because I was using them as a tripod and didn't think, but I'm going to go through this quickly. Firstly, we have They Both Die at the End. This is definitely a hyped up TikTok one, and I need to finish this because I borrowed it from a friend. As you can see, I'm about halfway through. I think I did this in like 2 sittings, so definitely could finish this in 1 sitting. I don't want to cry. I'm worried worried this might make me cry, to be honest, but overall I'm looking forward to reading this. Then 2 more that I meant to read or started reading / was on my TBR for last month. We have My Policeman. Took this to Thailand to read, never read it. I'm literally on page 8. That's how far I got into it, but need to watch this before its movie because obviously Harry Styles is going to be in it, so I do want to read that one. And also As Good as Dead. I stuck this on here to get me out of my reading slump, and I am on page 59, so not very far into it, but I think this is going to be number 1 that I'm going to read this month because I want to very want to get out of my reading slump. So those are going to be those 3. And then I think I'm also going to throw in this one to also help me get out of my reading slump. I really want to read this. This is One Last Stop by Katie McQuiston. I believe this is a just a romance, and I think it's got a little bit of fantasy in it apparently. I've heard. I'm obsessed with Red, White and Royal Blue, and she wrote that, and I so badly want to read this one. So I'm going to put that on there. And what else should I put on there? I think I want to do a couple of reading challenges. So for that I'm going to also put on 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and Spanish Love Deception. I think I'm going to do like reading TikTok hyped up books, so I'm going to throw those on there as well. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 physical books, and I know we're being kind of ambitious considering I've got like 3 weeks left of April and I haven't done much reading, but I'm going to throw on some from my Kindle app because obviously I always read stuff on my phone. I already finished 1 book this month, but I won't talk about that. I'm going to put on Wrecked because that is the next book in the Dirty Air series, and I think I'm going to put on Redeemed as well. Both of those, I've got them on here. I don't know how well you can see, but those are the 2 books that you definitely can't see. And then I'm going to put on let's do Stolen Air. That's the next Brutal Birthright one, so I'll give that one a go as well. So let's do these 6 books here. So these ones here plus Something Air. I literally can't remember what I said. The one I just said, and Wrecked, and the other Dirty Air one too. Okay, so there you go. That is my March reading wrap up and April TBR, and my first video on this channel. So yeah, I really hope you guys did enjoy this one. If you are looking for more book related content, then definitely subscribe. I'm going to be posting weekly and doing tons of reading wrap ups, challenges, book shopping, book hauls, maybe some reading vlogs. I'm going to do a little bookshelf tour to kind of show you guys, and then you guys can kind of request reading vlogs from there if you want to. But yeah, I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a like down below. You can hit subscribe and turn the bell to join a little club, and make sure you turn on all notifications, then you'll be notified every single time I post a new video. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Welcome to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!